everybody, welcome back to the Wizards Sports Lair. I am your host, Scott the Steamroller Steen, and I am joined by my esteemed panel, as always. In your upper right-hand corner, you're going to see Tom Macrina, a.k.a. Rye Cape. What up, Rye?
Not too much. Exciting weekend. This might be the last exciting weekend for a while. But, yeah, I got golf starts this weekend, too, so I'm excited. I'm a happy man.
And we won't talk about your Eagles. Very good.
No,
A gentleman who we will still talk about his hometown team, or at least his adopted hometown team, is the Houston Texans. It's David Delano coming to us live from his vehicle. Dave, you're out there training the next generation of great sports stars, huh? You got your kid at the soccer practice, and we're ready to talk some football. You ready to go?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely exciting weekend here in Houston, but we'll get to that as well. But I'm excited to be with you guys.
Excellent. And, of course, we wouldn't forget the one and only Sniper Wes. He's wearing his Dodgers hat. That's the only thing LA sports has going on right now. So what about those Chargers? No, we'll see you later. Oh, Rams? Okay. Well, LA is a huge Rams town. There's got to be Rams fever all over LA. I know you're in Vegas now, but you're still feeling that heat from Los Angeles, right?
Yeah, it's funny, man. The Rams, it seems like, they have one of the most beautiful stadiums in the NFL, maybe the world, and they're always outnumbered every single game. It's, as far as the fan base goes, the crowd. So
Los Angeles football is NBC. Nobody cares, man. Absolutely not. So, man, let's get rolling. Let's get right into it, man. We're gonna grip it and rip it. We'll talk a couple games here. We're going to do our wizarding school, where we're going to share one of our favorite sports tips with you. But let's start off with those Saturday games. It's the Buffalo Bills, and it is the Denver Broncos. Broncos, a small favorite right there. Tom, how do you see this one?
I don't know. Actually, this line's been moving. It looks like Denver's about to be the favorite, which I think they should have been in the first place. Number one seeds that have been underdogs. It's happened 3 times. The number one seed won all 3 of them. Obviously, they covered. Buffalo's beat up offensively. I think they only have 3 wide receivers. So I know that Josh Allen carried this team last week. I don't know that he's going to be able to do it twice in a row, especially at Denver. This is an early game. I like Denver here.
Okay, very good. Dave, let me ask you a question. Are you, when you're looking at this game, are you bothered by the fact that the Denver Broncos offense is terrible? Does that make a difference for you?
For me, yeah. I mean, I think even with that, I think it went all but a couple games this season. I mean, Denver's trailed in just about every game, so that's what bothers me when you have the better quarterback on the other side in the playoffs and a Denver team that's trailed. At some point, based off of what we've seen, that Bo Nix is going to likely have to bring them back from behind. So that definitely worries. Me, even though they've been so great at home.
Okay, what's your call on this one? Do you think Buffalo gets it done on the road?
Yeah, I do like Buffalo in this one. Denver's they've been a team that's just been hard for me to get behind this season. Although they've been tremendous wins-loss wise, but yeah, I like the Bills in this one.
Yeah, I'll tell you the problem that I see with this Broncos team is last couple of weeks, man, they struggled to get basically past preseason lineups of Kansas City and the Chargers. The only real team they played in that stretch is Jacksonville. They played them at home and they lost by 2 touchdowns. Meanwhile, Buffalo 7-2 over their last 9, and they beat 4 playoff teams in Tampa. Then they picked up road wins against Pittsburgh, New England, and Jacksonville. So, Wes, how do you see this one?
Well, you'd think I'd be the tiebreaker here, but I'm actually just going to focus on the total. I like the under a lot here. I mean, you said it yourself, the Broncos offense is not all that great, and the Broncos defense is actually fantastic. It's, arguably a top 3 well, they are a top 3 defense in the league. You can argue maybe they're the best defense in the league. So I like the under. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game. The past 3 games, they haven't scored more than 20 points as far as Denver's offense goes. So I think it's going to be a lower scoring contest here.
All right, very good. Yeah, this is a Bills team that's been putting up some points, and that's the only part that worries me about this, about playing the under there. So I definitely have concerns. I just don't think the Denver defense is quite as good as we've seen. Like I said, they gave up 34 to Jacksonville, 26 to Green Bay, 26 to Washington. I'm not even sure who was playing quarterback for Washington, probably Sonny Jurgensen at that point. So, man, thanks for being old enough to get that one, guys. Appreciate it. And Rye, how do you see this one? You kind of gave us on both sides. How do you feel? What's your final take here?
No, yeah, I like Denver here. I'll definitely take the home team.
Okay.
I just think Josh Allen, if the Bills win, Josh Allen's going to have to do it again. Team's beat up. We'll see what happens. I'd love to see the Bills in the Super Bowl.
All right.
Yeah,
I just think Broncos get it.
Yeah, he was in the tent 3 times, man. His finger, his leg, it seems like every part of him's banged up.
Yeah.
So,
I believe the last time in the tent he was just roasting marshmallows. So I think everything was fine.
Nice.
That's a hot take, right? That's the Philadelphia Eagles of sports takes right there. One and done. All right, very good. Let's talk about the other Saturday game. This is going to be the Saturday night game. Arguably, this is probably 2 of the best teams that are still left. The NFC, probably a little better conference. This is going to be the Seahawks laying a tutty up there in Seattle against the Niners. No George Kittle. Is that a problem for you, Delano?
With North George Kittle, it kind of makes me look even at the total when we saw how much the 49ers struggled, offensively the last time they played. I've seen a lot of people saying that the 49ers don't really have a chance to win. When I predicted this line, this was the one that I think was the most furthest off, and I guess I wasn't thinking about the Kittle factor as much. Despite what we saw, I've got a lot of faith in Shanahan and this 49ers team to keep it within 7, but more so than that, I do like the total of under 45.5. I just don't know if we're going to see that many more points. I do think that the lack of Kittle is going to definitely, and we just saw these teams combine for 16 points a couple of weeks ago with these, the stakes being so high. So I think the 49ers will cover in this one. I let Tom talk me out of it last week, man. I went on the show thinking I was going to take the 49ers, and I listened to all that Eagles talk, and I just stayed away from it. But I like the 49ers this week, but more so than I'm not sure if I'll play the side, but I'm definitely going to play the total of under 45.5.
Wes, there's rumors Fred Warner may be back. We saw him, man, it seems like just a few weeks ago with a dislocated and broken ankle basically hanging off. His foot was just hanging on by his sock, yet they think there's a possibility he could be back for this one. Wes, does that make a difference to you? Do you think any way Fred Warner plays, and if he is, do you think he's anywhere near 100%?
Probably not. But by the way, he's a fantastic commentator. They had him in SportsCenter or NFL Countdown, one of those shows in his bye week. He's got a big personality on him. He probably has a big career in media after he retires. But
yeah, he's got
I'm on the train with Dave, man. I like the under a lot. These two teams, it was 17-13 in week 1 when they played each other, and then 2 weeks ago, it was 13-3. So low-scoring games. Obviously, no Kittle, no Ayuk. Pearsall, I think, is questionable too. So a lot of the Niners' weapons are gone. And yeah, I like the under a lot in this spot. But if you want my premium play, which I will have a premium selection on this game, you can find that over at wizardsportspicks.com.
There you go. And that's very good. Very good time to put in a plug for Wizard Sports Picks, man. There's nothing but the best handicappers in the world over there. You can get their thoughts on all these playoff games, the national championship game in college football, and, of course, daily plays in NCAA basketball, as well as the NBA and NHL. Get your butt over there to Wizard Sports Picks and pick you up some Wizard Sports Picks from some of the greatest handicappers. Not just these guys. I talk every week about how great these guys are. We got other fantastic handicappers over there, and names you would definitely recognize in the handicapping world. So, Tom, last time these teams played, that was a must-win for both teams, basically playing for the division there. Seattle held the Niners to 53 yards rushing and 120 yards passing, and that was a game where Kittle was healthy. Now we get the Niners without Kittle. How do they get it done, or can they?
Yeah, I actually think they can. I kind of see a shootout here. As you said, last game they played to 16 as a total. I think both teams work on offense. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a lot of points in the first place.
All right, so
everybody likes San Francisco. They're getting heavy support, but Seattle at home. I just think they're going to be ready for this.
Yeah, how's that Niners offense get it done? Is it going to be magic beans? I don't know how they put up 173 total yards 2 weeks ago, and now they're going to magically score a bunch of points. How's that?
I don't know. They were rolling beforehand, so I think it has to be Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, but they've been finding weapons everywhere.
Okay. I think the Seahawks are going to be ready for wide receivers throwing the football this time after looking at tape.
Yeah. I think that's very possible. All right, very good. All right, guys, let's talk about what we like to do every week is bring one of our professional handicapping tips to help you make your game better there at home. This week, the Wizarding Sports tip is going to be about arbitrage, or what we would call middling. Tom, this is a strategy. The books have kind of figured it out, and they've kind of worked to keep it down. It's not as popular. It's not as available as it used to be. Tell us how we can still use arbitrage or middling to make ourselves profit.
Actually, arbitrage is getting more popular. I think a new company just came out that does it for you. I know a few that do, but I stay away from it. I don't like it. Hedging, middling, out.
And basically, so let's explain what it is. It's basically you're playing the books against each other. Let's say we're picking up the Seahawks game here, and one site maybe has it at Seahawks -8, other site has it at Seahawks -6. Now that's obviously just pie in the sky because it's pretty much locked in on 7 all over the place. But the way it would work is you'd take one side, you'd take the other side, and you would hope the game would land in the middle. And that way, what happens, Tommy?
You cash both sides.
You cash both sides. That's exactly right. So, Dave, are you a fan of arbitrage? So far, our big tip, we throw it to Tom. Tom's like, yeah, I don't do that. So, Dave, you're an arbitrage guy?
I'm not huge on it. I mean, the way that I would say when I do it is more so like a live betting situation. Like if a game that I got on early and then I'm betting it, like for example, look at this like Texans and Patriots game. If this total was 43.5, it's already down to 40.5. So let's say that you jumped on the under early, like right when it was posted at 43.5. I'm not saying that I would jump on the over at 40.5, but I'd probably at that point I'd probably just stay on my under. But if I'm looking at the game and let's say they get off to a slow start, and then I see the game maybe drop to like a 36.5 or something like that, then I'd be a fan of coming in live on the over 36.5. And at that point, if the game falls anywhere between 37 or 43, we got some really good numbers there, 38, 41, 42. You got some key numbers that I could get on both ends. I would jump in. Now, as far as when it comes to, a +3.5 and a +5, I don't really do that, but if you can kind of get some big gaps like that with live bet, especially when we see some of these games start off, especially Texans games, some of these games start off slow and points come late. That's a situation where I would use it.
Very good. Wes, I use the NFL as an example, and the NFL is probably the hardest sport to arb.
Yes, it
what are the sports where you're going to find a much more likely to find a split in those numbers? Is it college basketball for you?
Yeah, definitely basketball. You can go NBA or college, in my opinion. But the thing is, with basketball, you're going to get some pretty big, I want to say overlays, I guess you can call it. So, like, say, for example, we have the Warriors and the Lakers playing each other, right? Let's say the Lakers are laying 2 points, and you take them, like 110 to win 100, whatever it is. And let's say that they start, let's say they're up by 10 the end of the first quarter. So Dave was talking about live betting. So what you can do is maybe you can get Warriors for the game at +8, let's say, right? So now you're holding a ticket with Lakers -2 and another ticket with Warriors +8. So essentially you're hoping the game lands with the Lakers winning by 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, right? Pretty big overlay there, which can easily happen. And you win. You cash both tickets if it does fall in that window. If it does not, it's not the end of the world because let's say the Lakers go ahead and blow them out. They win by 20. Well, you win your original bet. Obviously, you lose the Warriors ticket, but the only thing you are losing is the juice on one ticket, right? So it's really not all that bad. Also, too, I wanted to say, talk about hedging or middling or whatnot. With baseball and hockey, it's not necessarily a middle because you're not dealing with a point spread. But let's say, for example, the Dodgers are playing the Giants, and let's say the Dodgers are minus 200, which they are all the time. And let's say you take the Giants at plus 150, right? So you're holding a Giants plus 150. Let's say the Giants in the first inning score 3 runs, right? So now all of a sudden the Giants have flipped live to the favorite, and you might be able to catch the Dodgers at, let's say, plus 140, plus 150. So if you are holding a plus 150 on team A and a plus 150 on team B, it is a guaranteed profit situation. One of those tickets will cash because one of those teams will win unless the game somehow does not finish. So, you can do that in hockey and in baseball as well.
You can do it in all sports. I do it all the time. I do it in NBA, college basketball. I do it in football. So anytime you take a dog, you should look to find a way to get a price on who the favorite was if you think that the favorite's going to win that game. But you have to do it live. But yes, I do that. I don't consider it arbitrage, though.
One thing I'll just throw out real quick. I know Scott's mentioned as far as like with books and depending on if somebody, especially if they're doing substantial amounts of getting limited, I definitely would recommend having more than one book, not doing it on the same book each time. Do it on one sports book, place your second wager on a completely different sports book, or else you're only going to be able to have so much success on that long term.
Absolutely. That's the point I was going to bring up before we wrap this up is you definitely want to have more than one book involved because your book isn't going to let you do that very often. You may get away with it once or twice, but if you're playing for any amount of money at all, it's going to be a very short-lived process for you. Dave, let's switch gears a little bit. On Monday night, we've got the national championship game in college football, the matchup that everybody foresaw coming. Of course, it's the Miami Hurricanes and the Indiana Hoosier Daddies. Indiana, a prohibitive favorite, minus 8.5. Dave, Indiana, we've been riding them hard, and they've been rewarding us. Are we going to get one more game out of them?
Yeah, so I'm going to break a rule on this one that I normally would. When we did the guess the lines, I thought that this total would be a little bit higher, just based on what we were seeing in that Indiana-Oregon game. I thought, and also in that Ole Miss Miami game, I thought that we'd see a little bit more of an overreaction on the total, and I thought it'd be a little higher. But I also thought that that overreaction went towards the spread. And I was thinking that before that game was played against Oregon, I thought maybe this would be a 4.5 point line, something like that. Now we see Indiana was open up at 7.5. They're all the way up at 8.5. And you look at how Miami performed against Ohio State, it really feels like it's too many points. But even though it's not a great number to 8.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9.5 at this point, what is it? What does it really matter if it's under 10? It's not a great number, but I think the play is Indiana. I just think that this is one of those teams, just one of those years where a lot of stats and just unconventional things. I think that because they're Indiana, they got a chip on their shoulders. I know it's in Miami. And when I'm looking at that number, it seems like Miami really should be the play. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking like this, and it may seem square, but I just can't fade Indiana in this game.
No,
I like Indiana.
Well, and I know this game is being played in Miami, but you got to remember those people in Indiana have been saving money to travel to this game for over 50 years.
And Mendoza is also from Miami and got slighted by them in recruiting. That's another narrative too.
Here's what I can't get past. Everybody talks about this Miami defense. Statistically, the Indiana defense is even better. And the problem for Miami is I don't think they can match up with Mendoza in that Indiana offense. I'm with you. I'm riding the Hoosiers here as well. Wes, you going to square it up, buddy?
No, I can't. I can't step in front of the train. I agree with Dave. They're going to want to run the ball. An interesting stat, they have in the past couple of games, they have run the ball 124 times compared to just 59 pass attempts. So it's funny, Mendoza won the Heisman, but that's not their game. They want to run the ball, right? And they beat Ole Miss and Oregon by a combined score of 94-25. I can't. step in front of the train. A home game for Miami. I think that's all for the Birds. Yeah, sign me up for the Hoosiers.
Yeah, I'm with you. I know it feels square to play that kind of a big favorite in a national championship game. But this is a team that's been extremely impressive, and you know what? The Miami run has been impressive as well. But I just think this Indiana team is hitting on all cylinders right now, and I think most college football coaches, if they had their druthers, I think they'd run the ball every time and not put it in the air. And I think that's the way it is with Kurt Cignetti. As long as that running game is working, I think they're going to keep pounding the rock. Tom, what say you?
Yeah, same thing we talked about last week. This Indiana team doesn't make mistakes, and when you make mistakes, they take advantage of it. I like Indiana too. I think it's. I'll be on Indiana. I do think it's a lot of points here, but what I really like is the first half under. I think we're going to see some jitters. As you said, both of these teams are really good defenses, so it's going to take a little time for these offenses to start going. First half under.
Okay. We saw that last week with the first half under. Took the offenses some time to get going. Pick six right at the beginning.
The head coach of Miami, he already knows who's going to win this game. He just has to look at his Mario crystal ball.
Stop that! Stop that!
That's a wizard joke.
Yeah,
too.
that is wizard.
Okay. All right.
It's like with these defenses, just like we saw in that Texas-Pittsburgh game. You know, you talk about defenses, offenses starting slow, then you get fumble returns for touchdowns or fumbles in the wrong area and pick sixes.
Yeah, weird ones too.
Yeah, that's and you know, and anytime you talk about playing the under, you run the danger of it being a blowout. So even though, you know, this is an Indiana team that gave up just 22 to a very good Duck squad, they hung a 50 burger on them, hung 56, hit the over all by themselves. Same with Alabama. You know, they even though that game went under the total, it wasn't Indiana's fault, at least as far as their offense goes, because they put up 38 in that game. So,
besides Penn State and Old Dominion, they pretty much crushed everybody. Oh, and Ohio State, that was a close game.
Yep.
But they just crushed teams, and they made teams that look good coming in to play them look bad after they were done playing them.
Yeah, that ODU game.
He's just so good, and these. I'm not going to call them kids because they're not kids anymore, but they're so smart. They understand it. They get it. This Indiana team is really, really, really good.
Yeah, I agree. That ODU game, that was weird. That was the first game of the season. They beat ODU 27-14, and then 3 weeks later they beat an undefeated Illinois team that was supposed to be a great matchup, 63-10. So
and then Illinois did nothing after that.
Yeah,
their season was pretty much done.
Yeah, they beat them so bad it ruined the rest of their season. So yeah,
crushed their souls. They did it, but that's what, except for Oregon, it's what happened to everybody after they played Indiana.
Yep.
You gotta love a head coach that talks about cracking a beer after a game too.
Yeah,
right.
Very, very good point. All right, guys. So that's the Saturday games. That's the national championship game. If you want to get our thoughts on Sunday, everybody has premium plays available over there at Wizard Sports Picks. So make sure you check those out as well. Gentlemen, as we get out of here, any final thoughts, Tom?
Just check me out. I'm killing the NHL right now. You can find me on all social media at Rodcape. Beyond the Lines, I do the Monday show. Check that out. I have a whole bunch of different stuff all the time. PGA starts on Thursday.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, very good. And yeah, that's a great reminder that Wizards, not only do we do this show every week, we do Beyond the Lines every single day over there at Wizard Sports Picks. So make sure you bookmark that website. Make sure you get over there and subscribe to the Wizard Sports Picks YouTube channel. And that way you will not miss a thing from not just these guys, but other fantastic handicappers as well. David, any final thoughts?
Yeah, my best bet, I've got plays over there, Wizard Sports Picks, best bet for the week in the NFL. Game not talked about in this video will be up over there along with college basketball, NHL, NBA, all of that stuff. And I'm also was hacked briefly on X, but now it's really me. So all right, back there at Get Sports Strong, it's me again.
You didn't have to go to Get Sports Stronger or anything, huh? It's still Get Sports Strong over there at.
No, I didn't. I had to work with messages and stuff and reaching out through a lot of channels, but I eventually got it back.
Very good. Wes, are you red hot as usual right now, my friend?
Yeah, man, it's going pretty well in all sports, NBA, college basketball, hockey. And yeah, you can find me over on X at the Sniper Picks. You could also find me at Wizard Sports Picks. I do the Beyond the Lines Friday show. And I did want to say on the way out, we do have a guest appearance next week by the Wizard himself. He's going to come on and talk for about 10 minutes about the Pegasus, which is the big first horse race of the season. And looking forward to talking to Wiz and having him on the show.
I thought we were going to just spend 10 minutes talking about horses and what would happen if they had wings.
We can talk about that too.
Like an actual Pegasus. So very good. All right, guys. Thanks very much for being here. It's been a blast as always. Make sure you can check us out like we do this. We do this show. It posts every Wednesday night. When does it go up?
Yeah.
It's because we record this Wednesday afternoon and they turn it around pretty quickly. So you'll be able to find this show every Wednesday night going forward. So make sure you check us out at the Wizards Sports Lair. That's where we all live. It's just a huge cave. And we all have our own little spaces there in the Wizard Sports Lair. We're having a blast. So for myself, the Steamroller, for Rye Cape, for Double D, and for the Sniper, we thank you guys very much for joining us. And make sure you check it out and watch us every week going forward. Check out Beyond the Lines every single day. You can find great content over at Wizard Sports Picks. Have a great weekend, everybody. Hope all your bets pay off, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Okay.